In a small field, many cabbages were growing. Inside one of the cabbages lived a little caterpillar. One day, the caterpillar saw a very big snail coming toward the field. Seeing the huge snail, the caterpillar became very scared. The snail slowly moved toward the cabbages and started eating them. After a moment, the snail noticed that there were even bigger snails nearby. Seeing them made the caterpillar even more frightened. It started shaking with fear as the snails slowly crawled closer and closer. Soon, all the big snails surrounded the caterpillar, staring at it with their scary eyes. Suddenly, the caterpillar woke up. It realized it had only been a dream. But when the caterpillar came outside, it saw that a real snail was actually coming toward the cabbages. The caterpillar got scared again and quickly started eating the cabbages to protect itself. However, the snail didn't even like cabbages and simply crawled away. In the end, the caterpillar had eaten its own home for nothing. One fine day in the jungle, a lonely box of peas fell from somewhere and landed on the ground. A curious little spider spotted it and thought, "Ooh, treasure!" She scurried over and tried to open it, so she grabbed a pebble and whacked it. Nothing. She frowned, muttered something about cheap packaging, and fetched a bigger rock. Thud. Still nothing. Now she was mad. She brought an entire collection of rocks, big ones, small ones, emotional support ones, and launched a full-scale attack. After hours of effort, the spider spotted a massive boulder and dropped it on the box. Nope, not even a dent. By now she was sweating. Do spiders sweat? And yelled, "Fine, gravity, do your thing." She shoved the box off a cliff. It tumbled down dramatically and landed softly on a pile of leaves. Still closed, defeated but not broken, she dragged the stubborn box all the way to the road, panting like she'd just run a marathon. "Let's see you survive this," she said, placing it right in the middle of the road. A car came flying by and squished the box flat. Peas exploded everywhere, so in the end, the peas got pureed, the spider got pancaked. Insects competition. At one place, a lot of people were ice skating in the snow. At the same time, there was also a funny competition going on between a snail and a caterpillar. An ant came to start the race. As soon as she pressed the stopwatch button, the snail began skating, moving forward skillfully and crossing over small sticks on the ground. Everyone was watching with excitement. The snail crossed the finish line in 41 seconds. Then the caterpillar slipped and struggled a bit, taking 50 seconds to reach the finish line. So, the snail won the first round. Next came the long jump round. The snail jumped and landed 46 inches away. Then the caterpillar took his turn, and he broke the snail's record. This time, the caterpillar won. Finally, it was time for the skating race. The caterpillar jumped from a height and accidentally landed right on top of the snail. Both of them slid forward together and crossed the finish line at the same time. So the match ended in a tie. One day, a thirsty little fly buzzed into a bathroom through the window. It spotted a soap bottle, thought, "Ooh, water," and dove right in, only to discover it was soap. After a few sips, the fly staggered out, dizzy as if it had just spun on a roller coaster, flopping around like a tiny drunk. Just then, a spider spotted the wobbly fly and thought, "Lunch is served." The fly tried to escape, but nope. Crash. Down it went again. The spider started chasing it, but it slipped on a towel like it was on a mini slip and slide, heading straight for the fly on the soap. As soon as the spider got close, the fly zoomed off like a tiny superhero. The spider, now covered in soap, slipped, slid, and belly flopped straight into the sink. The fly, feeling mischievous, turned on the faucet, splash, and gave the spider a watery ride down the drain. Finally, the fly shook itself off, did a victory lap, and buzzed out the window like a tiny bathroom champion. Mission accomplished. One day, a little black ant was carrying an olive from the dining table. When she reached near a flower pot, she made a tiny sound, and suddenly, a small hole opened in the pot. All the ants went inside, carrying the olive with them. They were storing their food for later. Once everyone entered, the hole closed again. But a group of red ants had seen everything. They hid behind the pot, waiting for a chance to steal the food. As they tried to sneak closer, one black ant guarding the pot spotted them. She quickly began dragging the flower pot away to safety, and the red ants followed her. The black ants carried the pot into another room and locked the door behind them. The red ants didn't give up. They even scared away a nearby cat and found another way to reach the black ant's pot. But when they finally got there, they found only one olive left. Furious, the red ants realized the black ants had already taken the rest of the olives away, safely hidden in a shoe. On a corn plant, a bunch of tiny eggs were chilling like they owned the place. One random egg suddenly slipped, fell down into a muddy pit, and just stayed there like, "Yep, this is my life now." Turns out, they were snail eggs. After a while, Mama Snail slowly slides over to check on them. She sees one egg looking a little different and gets totally shocked like, "Wait, I don't remember this one." Suddenly, crack, 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 the eggs start hatching. Four tiny baby snails pop out and immediately start following Mama Snail like a slow-motion parade. But then, the last egg cracks open, and boom, a caterpillar comes out instead. The caterpillar looks at the snail and is like, "Mom!" And just like that, he joins the squad and starts crawling behind her too. They all head to a garden to eat some fresh cabbage. The snails get ready to take their first bite, but before they can even blink, the caterpillar goes full speed mode and eats almost the whole cabbage by himself. The snails just stare at him like, "Bro, we were saving that." Night falls. All the snails tuck themselves safely inside their shells like cozy little sleeping bags. The caterpillar doesn't have a shell, finds a random cap lying nearby, and decides, "Yep, this is my house now." The next morning, all the snails find their snail partners and pair up happily. But the caterpillar? He's all alone. Feeling dramatic, he climbs up a tree and hangs upside down like he's in a sad music video. After some time, magic happens. He transforms into a beautiful butterfly. Now he's flying around confidently, thinking, "Who needs cabbage anyway?" And guess what? He finally finds his own butterfly partner too. One day, a group of ants entered a house. They climbed up and made their way through the wash basin, eventually reaching the kitchen. They were there to get food. There were some sweets and bananas placed on the counter. The ants quickly picked up the sweets and began heading back. But just as the last ant was about to leave with a piece of sweet, she noticed the bananas. She immediately dropped the sweet and went toward the bananas instead. She tried her best to pull one, but it was way too heavy for her. While the other ants had already reached the stairs, this one was still struggling. Suddenly, the banana slipped and got stuck in the sink. The ant gave up on that one and went for a second banana. But this one fell straight into the machine. She went for a third one. This time it fell down and rolled away. The fourth banana also fell and got spoiled. Finally, the fifth banana dropped but didn't break. The ant managed to grab it and started climbing the stairs. But just then, the banana slipped from her grip and fell down the stairs, breaking apart. Determined, the ant went back for more bananas, but by then all the bananas were gone. In the end, she had no choice but to settle for the sweet after all.